It's time for another edition of In the Crib. And today's edition is all about courage. Courage. You think about those that have courage. Someone that has courage is willing to make change happen or to be there to rescue you when you need it. Someone's there to do something that someone else wouldn't do. Someone to go into a dangerous situation. Of course, you think about firefighters, so I have little Mikey to the rescue here, and he has his fire truck because I have to get a reborn baby in here, and I'm going to show another baby coming up soon, but I'm going to talk about courage that you need to be in the reborn community and why you need to have courage. Of course, we all want to be here to help one another, but sometimes someone may have a fire going. Yeah, what I mean is someone may have a situation and they need help and they want to tell you what's going on. Something has happened and it's a really big situation and they're telling you all about it, and they just want to tell you about it. They don't want help. They just want to tell you about it. But you want to help them, but you don't know how to help them. Because at that time, they just want to tell you what's happening. They don't want help at that time. They just want to tell you what's happening. So that is where you need to know when to help and when to just be there as support. Do they need the right words then or later? Or do you want to keep the fire going? See, it's a tough thing. It really is a tough thing. There is a fire going. Do you feed the fire? Do you help them? Do you help them lead to know what to do to put it out? Well, some don't want to put it out, the fire. They want to keep the fire going and going and going. But you just have to wait and let it simmer. Perhaps they're not ready for help yet. They're still working through it. You have to let people work through it because they need to heal. They need to heal. And you can't force someone to put their fire out themselves. I know it takes a lot of courage to know when to step back and when to help. It's hard. Courage to know what to do, when to do it. So I'm going to show you another baby, and we're going to continue to talk about this. Here we go. Who else do you think has courage? The police department. And when do they show up? When there's conflict. And what do they try to do when they show up when there's conflict? First thing they do is they gather evidence, they gather what's going on, what's happening, and they try to settle it down. Do they try to keep the fire going and get people more and more agitated? Never. What they do is if the two sides are having conflict, they separate the sides, and they get one side story and they get the other side story, and they try to figure out, sort of mediate what's going on here and see if they can come to a conclusion and try to resolve the situation. Or they arrest someone, right? That's what happens with the police department. They don't try to agitate the situation. But what happens here in the community is a little bit different. Often there'll be something that happens, and then there'll be a conflict, and then there's someone feeding the fire and feeding the fire and feeding the fire and feeding the fire some more. Courage to know when to do the right things at the right time. Because sometimes, I know you want to help your friends. I know that. I know you want to help your friends. Because you want to say the right things to make them feel better. Because you don't want them upset. No one wants anyone upset. But what can you say to help them? I don't know if there is an answer to help your friends, to make them feel better. I don't know. But I do know that having courage to do the right things at the right time is huge. And not sticking to the status quo of just the way things are. And for someone to step up and say, well, this is the true facts. That takes courage to come forward to do that. Or someone else is afraid to do something because they're being told, well, if you talk to her, I won't be your friend. What is that? Who does that? That's just a fear tactic of threatening your friend. If you dare talk to so-and-so, I won't be your friend. That doesn't sound like a friend at all, that someone would do that. Here's my Asriel. He's dressed as Superman, and it would be great to have your own Superman whenever you needed some courage. But unfortunately, you have to rely on yourself. If you want to have things happen, to cause change happen, it's you. You will cause change to happen for the good. If you have good in your heart, you can make good things happen. You can. Throughout history, there's been one person that says, enough of this, I'm going to make the world better, and step forward and say, okay, this is how things are going to go from now on. We're not saying anything at all, and it's just by your action that you're not going to put up with it anymore, and that you're going to make things for the better. And that takes a tremendous amount of courage. It's not to be silent anymore, or not to do what everyone else does, doing their action. Do you know what I'm talking about? Not doing what they're doing. Doing you. That takes courage. Doing what you feel is right. Doing the right thing. That takes courage. You cause change to happen that way by doing what's right. That takes courage. Not being told what to do by someone else. That's not courage. That's being led. And sometimes being pressured by fear. That doesn't sound like courage. That's fear. That's not. It's something a friend wouldn't do. That's being forced to go along. That's not respecting you as an individual. It takes courage to be you. It takes courage to do the right thing. I'm Yvonne. Thanks for watching Having You On. The Reborn Feel Good channel. Please subscribe for more.